My dear friends, my beloved African family, let us talk about home, our Africa. This continent is a place of breathtaking beauty and incredible strength. It is blessed with sunshine that warms our skin and rich soil that can feed the world. We have diamonds, gold, oil, and resources that nations across the globe desire. But our greatest treasure, our most precious jewel, is not buried in the ground. It is walking on it. It is our people. It is the vibrant, intelligent, and resilient spirit that beats in the heart of every African. This is our truth. This is our power. We are a continent of kings and queens, of innovators and creators, of storytellers and dreamers. But we must also speak our whole truth. There is another story, a story of pain that we cannot ignore. It is a story I see in the eyes of our young people. I see brilliant minds filled with so much potential, yet their spirits are weighed down. They graduate from universities with degrees in hand, but their hands remain empty. There are no jobs waiting for them. Millions of our sons and daughters wake up each day to a horizon that seems to offer no hope, no opportunity. This deep disappointment is a shadow that has fallen over too many homes, turning dreams into dust and creating a silent ache in the heart of our motherland. This is the great paradox of our time. We live on the richest continent on Earth, yet so many of our people live in poverty. We have the youngest population in the world, a powerful force for growth and change. Yet this youthful energy is often left idle, slowly turning into frustration and despair. This situation is not just an economic problem, it is a spiritual crisis. It wounds the soul of our continent. It makes our young people question their worth, their future, and their place in the world. We cannot, and we will not, stand by and watch this happen. We must face this pain with courage and with a plan. The feeling of being stuck, of having so much to give but nowhere to give it, is a heavy burden for anyone to carry. Imagine the young engineer who cannot build, the talented artist who cannot create, the sharp entrepreneur who cannot start a business. This is the reality for too many. This is the challenge that has called us to action. It is the reason we must rise up, not with anger, but with a purpose. It is the reason we must come together to write a new story for our continent. A story of hope restored, of potential unleashed, and of a future where every single young African has the chance to shine. I want to share something personal with you all. I was not always filled with this burning fire for change. For many years, my heart was heavy with the same frustration I see today. As a pastor, I counseled young people who were bright, dedicated, and full of faith, yet they saw no open doors. They prayed, they fasted, they believed, but their circumstances did not change. I would preach messages of hope on Sunday, but on Monday, I would see the reality of their struggle. I felt like a failure. I questioned my own purpose. I asked God, why is this happening? What are we doing wrong? My spirit was troubled, and I felt a deep sense of helplessness watching this cycle of disappointment. My turning point came not in a loud moment, but in quiet prayer and reflection. I felt a clear and powerful message settle in my soul. It was a whisper that said, stop just praying for jobs, start creating them, stop just comforting the youth, start empowering them. This was a profound shift in my thinking. It was a divine instruction that shook me to my core. I realized that my frustration was not meant to break me. It was meant to build something new. It was a holy discontent, a sacred fire intended to ignite a movement. This was the moment the idea for Africa 2030 vision was born. It was not just a project. It was an answer to a prayer and a solution to a deep-seated pain. The vision became crystal clear. We had to move beyond simply talking about the problem. We had to become the solution. We had to build a new path for our young people, a path paved with practical skills and real opportunities. The dream was to create a future where our youth are not just waiting for someone to hire them, but are equipped to build businesses and hire others. A future where their hands are not just seeking help, but are skilled to create, to innovate, and to produce. This vision was bigger than me, bigger than my church. It was a vision for the entire continent, a roadmap to a brighter, more prosperous Africa by the year 2030. From that day forward, my personal frustration turned into a powerful mission. Every young person I saw was no longer a symbol of a problem, but a reminder of our incredible potential. Every story of struggle became fuel for my determination. I knew this journey would be long and difficult, but I also knew it was necessary. It was a calling I could not ignore. Africa 2030 vision became my life's work, a promise I made to God and to the next generation. It is a journey from the valley of despair to the mountain of hope, and I knew I could not walk it alone. It required all of us to catch the vision and walk together. Let's be very clear about something. Our young people are not the problem. I will say it again. Our youth are not the problem. For too long, we have looked at our large youth population and called it a ticking time bomb. We have focused on the challenges of unemployment, of restlessness, of migration. But we have been looking at it all wrong. We need to change our perspective. We need to see our youth for who they truly are. They are our greatest asset. They are our untapped gold mine. They are the engine that will power our continent's future. Their energy, their creativity, and their ambition are the most valuable resources we possess. The crisis we face is not a crisis of youth. It is a crisis of leadership and vision. The failure is not with our young people. It is with our systems that have failed to create pathways for their success. It is our collective responsibility, as leaders in government, in business, and in our communities, to stop seeing our youth as a burden to be managed. We must start seeing them as a force to be unleashed. We must shift our focus from controlling them to empowering them. Every policy, every investment, and every decision must be made with one question in mind. How does this empower our young people? This is the fundamental change that must happen. Think about the power we are letting go to waste. In every community, there is a young person with an idea that could change an industry. There is a young woman with the talent to become a world-class software developer. There is a young man with the skills to build a manufacturing plant. But this potential remains locked away if we do not provide the key. The key is empowerment. The key is opportunity. The key is believing in them and investing in their dreams. When we do this, we are not just solving unemployment, we are unlocking a wave of innovation and progress that will lift our entire continent. So to every leader I say this, look into the eyes of the youth in your nation. See the fire that burns there. Your job is not to put out that fire with bureaucracy and neglect. Your job is to fan it into a flame. Create an environment where their ideas can flourish. Build policies that support their startups. Fix the education system so it prepares them for the future. When you empower one young person, you empower a family. When you empower a generation of young people, you transform a nation. This is our sacred duty. This is our most urgent task. Our youth are the answer we have been praying for. To my dear young people, I want to speak directly to your hearts. I know it is hard. I know you feel overlooked and undervalued. It is easy to let bitterness and negativity take root in your soul. It is tempting to fall into lifestyles of crime, to numb the pain with distractions, or to believe the lie that your future is somewhere else, on another continent. But I am asking you today to make a choice. Choose to believe in yourself. Choose to believe in Africa. Reject the victim mindset that tells you that you are powerless. You are not powerless. You are powerful beyond measure. Your mind is your greatest asset. What you do with it will determine your destiny. You must become the guardians of your own minds. Do not allow the poison of negative thinking to enter. Do not waste your precious time and energy on things that do not build you up. The hours spent on social media gossip, on pointless arguments, or on activities that lead nowhere could be hours spent learning something new. I urge you to turn away from the path of instant gratification and choose the path of long-term growth. Your future is too important to be wasted. You are the generation that will redefine what it means to be African. You are the architects of a new era. Embrace this responsibility with pride and with purpose. This new mindset must be paired with a new focus: the pursuit of practical skills. A university degree is important, but it is not enough. Our world and our continent's economy is changing rapidly. The future belongs to those who can do things, not just those who know things. I am calling for a skills revolution across Africa. Learn a trade. Become a master plumber, a skilled electrician, a creative fashion designer, a talented carpenter, or an expert welder. Learn how to code, how to repair electronics, how to manage digital marketing, or how to practice modern, sustainable agriculture. These are not second-class professions. These are the skills that build nations. These practical skills give you something that no one can take away. They give you the power to create value. They give you the ability to solve problems in your community. They give you the independence to start your own business and be your own boss. You will no longer have to wait for a job. You will be able to create your own work and even create jobs for others. This is true empowerment. This is how you take control of your economic future. So, I challenge you. Find a skill you are passionate about and dedicate yourself to becoming the best at it. This is your pathway to dignity, to prosperity, and to a meaningful life. We do not have to guess if this strategy works. We can look around the world and see the proof. History and modern times show us a clear pattern. Nations that prioritize practical skills and technical education become economic powerhouses. Look at Germany. Their dual vocational training system, which combines classroom theory with hands-on apprenticeship, is famous worldwide. It has created a workforce of highly skilled technicians and engineers. This is the backbone of their powerful manufacturing and export economy. It has allowed them to maintain low youth unemployment and drive incredible innovation for decades. This is not an accident. It is the result of a deliberate, long-term vision. Let us also consider the incredible story of China. In just a few decades, they lifted hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. How did they do it? A major part of their strategy was a massive focus on vocational and technical training. They understood that to become the world's factory, they needed millions of skilled workers. They built technical schools and training centers across the country, teaching their people everything from electronics assembly to advanced manufacturing. This skilled workforce attracted investment, fueled industrial growth, and completely transformed their nation's economy and its place in the world. Their journey shows the immense power of a skilled populace. We can also look at the rise of India as a global tech leader. While they have many great universities, their explosion in the information technology sector was fueled by thousands of private training institutes. These institutes taught specific, job-ready skills like computer programming, software testing, and network administration. They quickly trained a generation of young people for the jobs of the new digital economy. This skills-focused approach allowed India to build a multi-billion-dollar IT service industry, creating millions of well-paying jobs and proving that a nation can build a modern economy on the foundation of specialized skills. These examples are not meant for us to simply copy. They are meant to inspire us. They are meant to show us what is possible when a nation commits to empowering its people with practical, valuable skills. Africa has its own unique context, its own unique opportunities. We can create our own models that are tailored to our needs. We can focus on skills for agriculture, for renewable energy, for tourism, for creative arts, and for the digital economy. The lesson is clear. Development is not about charity or aid. True, sustainable development is about building the capacity of your own people. A skilled Africa will be a prosperous Africa. As a pastor, I must speak on a matter that is central to our identity as a people, our faith. We are a continent of deep faith. We pray, we believe, and we trust in God. This is a beautiful and powerful thing. Our faith has sustained us through difficult times and has given us hope when there was none. However, I must share a truth that we sometimes forget. The Bible tells us that faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. Our faith must be a living, breathing force that moves us to act. We cannot simply pray for a better future. We must work for it. We must be the hands and feet of our own prayers. This means we must combine our spiritual devotion with practical diligence. Pray for an opportunity, but also go out and learn a skill that will prepare you for it. Ask God for wisdom, but also read books, take courses, and seek mentors. Trust God for provision, but also create a business plan and work hard to make it a reality. God has already blessed us with incredible gifts. He has given us minds that can think, hands that can build, and a continent full of resources. He is waiting for us to be good stewards of these gifts. True faith is not passive. It is an active partnership with God. We do our part, and we trust Him to do His. This principle of faith in action is the engine of the Africa 2030 vision. We are building skills academies not just as technical schools, but as centers of purpose where young people can connect their faith to their work. We partner with churches and mosques, turning them into hubs for empowerment during the week. We want to teach our youth that their work matters to God. Whether you are a carpenter, a coder, or a farmer, you can do your work with excellence as an act of worship. This mindset transforms a job into a calling. It brings dignity and purpose to every profession. So let us rise up with a new understanding. Let our faith not be a reason for inaction, but the very fuel for our action. Let our churches and mosques be places that not only feed the soul, but also equip the hands. Let us be a people who are known not just for our powerful prayers, but for our powerful work ethic, our integrity, and our commitment to excellence. When our deep faith is combined with disciplined action, there is no mountain we cannot move. There is no challenge we cannot overcome. This is how we will build the new Africa, on the solid rock of faith and hard work. The vision for a prosperous Africa by 2030 is not a dream for one person or one organization. It is a collective promise that we must make to ourselves and to our children. It requires every single one of us to play our part. To our governments, I say, create the right environment. Make it easier to start businesses. Invest seriously in vocational and technical education. Fight corruption, because it steals the future from our youth. Your role is to create policies that unleash potential, not ones that create barriers. Be true servants of the people and champions for the next generation. Your legacy will be defined by the opportunities you create for them. To my fellow leaders in the private sector, the business community, you are the engine of job creation. I urge you to invest in our youth. Create apprenticeships and internship programs. Partner with technical colleges to design curricula that meet your industry's needs. Look beyond short-term profits and invest in building a skilled local workforce for the long term. Your success is tied to the success of our communities. By building up our young people, you are building a stronger, more sustainable market for your own businesses. Let us work together to build industries that last. To my brothers and sisters, the faith leaders, and to every parent, our role is foundational. We must change the narrative in our homes and in our places of worship. Let us stop telling our children that the only path to success is a white-collar office job. Let us celebrate the artisan, the technician, and the entrepreneur. Let us teach our children the dignity of labor and the value of creating with their own hands. Parents, encourage your children to explore their practical talents. Faith leaders, use your platforms to preach a message of empowerment, responsibility, and faith in action. Our guidance shapes their dreams. And finally, to our incredible youth and to everyone who shares this dream, this is our moment. This is our call to action. I have dedicated my life to this vision, and I promise you that I will work tirelessly to build these bridges of opportunity. But I cannot do it alone. We need you. Join this movement. Share this message. Talk to your friends, your family, and your leaders. Demand change, but also be the change. Learn a skill, start a project, support a local artisan. Let us build this new Africa together, block by block, skill by skill, dream by dream. The future is in our hands. Let's get to work. Please share this message.